Hey, so today is July 3rd, 2014. And it's been 16 days since my mother died. She died on June 17th. Um, I was talking to my mother all the time. We spoke every day. Today was my first day back to work. And my mother used to call me every morning to make sure I was out the house, for work. And she would talk to me the whole walk there. So the walk to the train was really, really difficult. I cried all the way to the train. I cried the whole train ride to work. And I almost cried after work. But I kept it together. Um, but I was thinking about that silence as I was walking to work. I couldn't really listen to music. I really couldn't. I really couldn't focus on anything but this thing about the silent spaces. And there's a lot of silent space now that she's gone. Um, but even before she died, there was a lot of silence happening. My mother was just so full of life and was just so vibrant, and we always had so much to talk about. But as she progressively got sick with the cancer, she got diagnosed a year ago. Um, you know, um, and we would talk about it, here and there. We would still have space to talk about our lives, our future, what we were doing. But as she got progressively sick over the year, and it looked like nothing was working, the chemo wasn't working, the radiation wasn't working, nothing was working. Our conversations got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think it got to the point where neither one of us really knew what to say. You know, I would feel bad talking about, um, my future plans or whatever, because I think she and I both knew that she didn't have long. And I didn't know how to talk to her about that. And I didn't know how to talk to her about her cancer. And I didn't know if I should talk to her about it or if I should not talk to her about it, or should I just act like everything is normal or what. And now I look back, maybe I should have just asked. Maybe I should have asked her. I mean, I think I did a couple times, but I feel like I could have did more. Um, but anyway, so that silence has been happening for a while, um, during her progression, and so now that she's gone, um, there's just so much silence. There's just so much quiet. There's a hush over my entire life. Um, I don't know. It's weird. It's like I can't even. It feels sometimes it feels like I can't even get out of it. Sometimes this silence it just hits me like I can't even. I just stop whatever I'm doing. I just stop thinking. I just stop doing. I just stop moving. I stop breathing, and it's just quiet. Um, and that's hard. I miss her a lot. Yeah, but um, when I have those silent moments, I really just try to hear her. Um, I think I hear her voice. I'm not sure. Um, I don't know if it's me just making it up in my head, like trying to cope. I don't know if I'm losing my mind or if I'm actually hearing my mother talk to me in these spaces. Telling me that I'll be okay, telling me what she's always told me: keep my eye on the prize and stay strong, and I got this, and all those words of encouragement. I don't know if it's real or what's real, or what isn't, or what's happening, but those spaces, I sometimes hear her voice, um, which is kind of comforting, I guess. I guess. Um, but I think that's important when you're grieving to try to find comfort in any way that you can, if it makes sense or not. And that's what I'm trying to do every day. Every day is it's a real struggle. Especially now being back home in New York and trying to get back to my life. And try to stay present for my wife and for my colleagues and for my friends. Everybody wants to be here for me, and not just kind of just ball up into these silent spaces. So yeah, when that happens, I try to listen for her, and I try to find comfort in whatever it is that's happening in my head right now. Um, Yeah, so that's what's happening to me now. Yeah, and every day it's just it's a struggle. Trying to smile and trying to pay attention when people are talking when all I want to do is think about my mother. Uh, I can't do that because I have to live my life, and she wouldn't want me to do that. My mother worked very, very hard her whole life, and she was very successful, and she will want for me to continue moving. But it's hard because the sadness is so, it feels so permanent. It feels like it feels like I can only reach a certain level of happiness, a certain level of enthusiasm, and that's a very low level. But what I do know what's helping me is that I know that it will change. When, I don't know. I don't know. I could be in this whole melancholy state for a year or two or five but I'm just trying to work with it. And that's, my wife said that it's about managing the sadness. It's something, the sadness isn't going to go away, but it's trying to manage it in the most healthy way possible. Um, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I think that that's important for anybody who's lost a loved one or is going through some type of heartbreak to let the sadness in and just, ride it out as best you can. So that's where I am. That's where I am. Very, very sad. And I hear my mother every day, and I'm just trying to cope at this point.